Alrighty, boys, know it's me. I'm here. The Arcane plays. Alright, Alex. Sounds good, man. Sounds good. For some reason, I thought it was Prox. It's gonna be Elfrost, Prox, Pure Nature, Sephimon. Ooh, that guy's new. And Zico, who's up first, versus Enzokum. I really like that. I really like that. You got. I like your Mog, by the way. What the hell? That's awesome looking. Lucky Mage. Easy for tips, Pony Tricks, and Zakati. So it's gonna be Zakati's same team. It's gonna be Lucky Mage versus Ezekiel off the bat. That's gonna be a pretty bad setup. Actually, for Arcane Mage, this is good. It's a question of does Lucky Mage know how to play against this? I guess as Subtlety Rogue or Outlaw Rogue, Arcane has a hard time because of the range damage. I guess an Assassination Rogue, Shadow Step being the only mobility cooldown, makes you a pretty easy target out in the open. Lucky Mage is going to go try to for some big damage. It's going to be a smoke bomb coming down for Ezekiel off the bat. Trying to rotate the defensive. Try not to Shadow Step quite yet. Who's going to sprint up to Lucky, who's going to get some slows up and running. Arcane Missile is going to go for maybe back-to-back leaps back and forth. Is going to blink away with Arcane Blast. Shadow Step coming out for Ezekiel. And that's going to be Lucky Mage at an advantage. Can blink anywhere he wants to. As long as he keeps Ezekiel slow. Ezekiel's just throwing knives in there as much as he can. Cloak of Shadow's coming down. Lucky Mage is going to blink away out of that. I think he went for an invis actually. Yeah, he did go for a short invis for a moment. Full stun coming out onto Lucky. Gonna eat that damage. Ezekiel is not gonna go for a big Vendetta quite yet. No big Vendetta play. Saving that Vendetta for now. I guess waiting for Lucky Mage to maybe get an Ice Ball going. There's gonna be more blinks for Lucky Mage. Blind coming down. I don't think Ezekiel is gonna be able to catch himself a full reset with those images. So he might just have to go for maybe a full stun. He's going to go for a full stun onto Lucky Mage, trying to wear him out with the dots. It's going to be a big jump roll for Lucky. He's going to be able to recover. Ezekiel is going to go for a vanish. The dot is still on him. Going to be able to open him with Cheap Shot. Needs to get a Garrote in there, though. Long Garrote. Trying to get the damage up and running onto Lucky. Arcane Missiles are coming out. That's going to be Arcane Missiles as he's being able to port around him back and forth. Lucky Mage is getting a lot of damage onto Ezekiel. Ezekiel has nothing left. Lucky is still holding on to big defensives if ever needs to. Evasion coming down. That's going to be Vendetta coming down. Lucky Mage might need to Ice Block this. It's going to Ice Block low health, though. That's really bad. Ezekiel has him in such a bad spot. Does he have a Shadow Step throwing knives coming down? Trying to get some instant cast in there. And does take out... Oh my god, he took out the Rogue at the very last moment. Next up is going to be Sephimon. Lucky Mage is going to get out of that stun. Trying to go for an invis to get a defensive rolling. Used to get out of that temporal coming down, but looks like Sephimon is just going to get so much pressure on early. Lucky Mage didn't even get to be lucky in the opener. There's going to be free arrest for tips going up next. Trying to get dots up. Trying to go for a Vampiric Touch onto the DH. Going to be a Fear. Check it out of the DH off the bat. Going to go for Shadow Mend. That's going to be Sephimon getting back in there with his resources rolling. Vampiric Touch is going to be coming down for rest for tips. Going to get a Siphon up and running too. With a Mindbender as well, it's going to be a lot of dot damage from a distance or channel damage. Rest for tips is going to go for a big play right now. Big Void Form right now. Vampiric Embrace coming down. Is going to get interrupted for it. Stun coming down right afterwards. Is he going to go for a defensive play? Maybe a stun? Does he have a stun to Sephimon? Going to go for Shadow Mend since the Demon Hunter doesn't have any way to interrupt it. Going to re-dot him right now. Mind Blast to follow. Gonna get him into a stun. Can you eliminate him right now, though? Can you get him into the execute mechanic, though? Execute him. Maybe. Making sure to have Power Word shields up and running. Is going to get interrupted onto Shadow of the Bat. That's going to be Sephimon sitting in darkness. Rest of Tip is getting a few instant casts with a Death Pact, though. Might have to go for a Disperse, though. Barely has any health left. The Demon Hunter is still healing a little by little. Barely any health for either one of those. Could be anyone's game. And Rest of Tips actually decides he needs to go for a Disperse, as his health is just in the worst possible state. Gonna get a few Shadow Mends, but at least he was able to survive that one. Elfrost coming in with a Blizzard. Gonna get it silenced off the bat. Trinkets out of it to interrupt a Rest for Tips. There's gonna be big damage coming down. Big Shadow procs coming in. Ebon Bolt to follow. Rest for Tips taking a lot of damage right now. Shadow Mend's coming out since there's no way for Elfrost to eliminate him in terms of Shadow cast. Stun coming down so Rest for Tips can get dots up onto the Mage. Big Temple coming out. Rest for Tips taking still a lot of damage from all the pets. There's going to be Siphon down onto Easy Frost, who's going to take him out. Or Elfrost. Restorative still has a fair amount of health going out. Has Vampiric Embrace available so you can still heal from the dots. Needs to get the damage rolling. Mindbender is not able to connect onto Elfrost. Needs to go for big heals. Gonna go for a fear onto Elfrost as comments hit him down. Needs to go for Shadowman's. Might get interrupted right here. Mind Blast is coming out onto Elfrost though. Ice Block coming down. It's easy for rest for tips. Needs to go for heals right now. Shadowman's are coming out. Trying not to get interrupted. Does he have a silence or anything for the Mage? Is going to go for a blur right now. Actually going to go for a fade so you can fade a little bit of damage. Shadow Men's coming out. Is going to snag one Shadow Man. Not putting up absorbing himself because he knows that the Mage is going to steal it. Mage is going to get up close. Stun coming out right now. Shadow Man's coming in. So he continues to stay defensive right now. Siphon coming in. That's going to be big procs for rest for tips. Alfrost continuing to pummel damage into this guy. 1% damage coming in. Is that for easy rest for tips? Doesn't have a lot of health left. Maybe one more Shadow Proc and that'll be it. Disperse coming down for res right now. Trying to outlive the Frost Mage. Going to be a lot of healing with that Disperse. Can he go for a big Void Form right now? There's going to be huge Ray of Frost. Silence coming down. Big Void Form coming in. That's going to be Ice Block coming out for Elfrost. Going to come out of there. Freezing Trap coming, or Freezing Frostbolt coming out. Going to be a Temporal coming in for the Mage. Interrupt onto Res for tips. Looks like Res has no way to deal damage or heal himself with Shadow Men's. Might go for Shadow Men's right now. Actually going to go for a greater fade so you can get away and to sprint away behind the pillar. Going to go for Shadow Men's right now. Needs to reheal. Elfrost still has a fair amount of health left on him. Still has a massive absorb that's not getting purged ever. If Rest for Tips will start purging his absorb, then that would be actually kind of nice. Siphon coming down. That's going to be a big burst combo for Elfrost again. Onto Rest for Tips. Trying to keep running after him. Big combo. Doesn't drop him onto Shadow. Not going to be able to get any kind of heal or damage going out. The image is up there right now doing damage. Silence coming in. Mind Blast to follow. Rest for Tips barely has any health. Might want to go for a big heal. Is going to go for Vampiric Embrace with Insanity. He needs to start doing damage to whatever and anything he can. Shadow Men's coming out. Is able to heal a lot of this damage right now. Maintaining his health at the very least. Mind Blaster coming out, I think, on one of the images even. So he can maintain healing. Greater Fade coming in. That's going to be Elfrost trying to get himself another burn combo proc going in. Trying to get another burst combo with a Shatter. Gonna go for a big Comet Storm. Shadow Men's coming out, getting interrupted. He's gonna land that Shadow Men's off. Stun coming in onto Elfrost. Mind Blast coming out for Rest for Tips. Another Insanity coming out for him. Into Disperse. He's actually able to get another Disperse. And Insanity is actually not draining. He could go out there, go for some damage. Shadow Men's coming out. As long as he doesn't get interrupted, he should be okay. Getting frozen while his Insanity is rolling. And Elfrost is the one who needs to play defensive. That's gonna be Silence coming out. It's gonna be executed by Rest for Tips. A Shadow Priest making some plays. He didn't have to go Cephon, I guess. Oh, now he has to go against Pure Nature, though. That's going to be really bad. He's going to get himself an Absorb running. Not going to be able to get a dot rolling onto Pure Nature at all, though. This is going to be a really tough duel, man. I don't think a Shadow Priest can beat him, dude. If you beat Pure Nature, I'll be impressed. And a goddamn half. Trying to get a Vampiric Touch up and running right now. Mind Flays are going out. Pure Nature is going to bail out of there after getting dots onto a Rest for Tips. Rest for Tips basically just needs to make sure he doesn't get dotted to begin with. He's going to get a Mind Bender up and running onto Rest for Tips. Going to go with big Insanity play. Does take a good chunk out of the Druid's health. Pure Nature is actually going to go for some big damage himself as well. Going to be Trinket for Trinket right now for both of these guys. Pure Nature has big damage going out, but Rest for Tips is just not taking any damage. And Pure Nature's health is going down little by little. Has a bird a wall. Has a bird a big heal yet. Is going to get a Mind Flare right as Pure Nature goes behind the corner. And as for Tips, might actually just want to engage in there out in the open. Pure Nature is not going to have a Trinket for a bit. That's going to be one advantage for our Rest for Tips. One advantage. Does get a Siphon up and running. Siphon can't quite connect. Now it's connecting. They're going to do some damage. The Rest of Tips wants to get him out next to Siphon, so at least Siphon is doing some damage. Because that's percentage damage. Going to go for a regrowth again. Rest for Tips needs to get in there. Is he going to go for a big Fear Spam? No. Going to get re-dots up onto the Feral. Feral is going to get out in the open. That's going to be a Rest for Tips. Going to go for a big setup with big Insanity. Trying to get a dot up and running with a big touch. Pure Nature, I think, wants to go for an interrupt. Is he going to have one? Stun coming on to Pure Nature. Rest for Tips has a lot of damage right now. While Insanity is available, dropping the Druid down to about half health. That's going to be a... Mindbender coming out right afterwards. Silence coming on to Pure Nature, so maybe Pure Nature won't be able to get any heals. As Pure Nature trying to retreat, doesn't have the silence, not letting him heal. That's gonna be Siphon reducing the health. Oh my god! He actually obliterated the Feral with that Siphon as the guy's gonna go for regrowth. No wall burn out of Pure Nature. Thought, you know what, Shadow Priest, I don't need to burn walls. I don't need to burn walls. I'll burn some bridges, but not walls. Bash coming in onto Rest for Tips, into Fear, onto Procs though. And you know that Pure Nature does use walls. He just decides, you know what, that's not enough damage, not gonna use wall. He uses walls in other duels. That's going to be an interrupt onto a Rest for Tips. As he is now a formidable foe, and Procs is just going to continue pressuring him down. That's going to be a stun coming out for Rez. Going to go for a Vampiric Embraces. 28% dampening is up right now. Going to go for Mind Flays. Big Insanity coming down. Going to do some damage to Procs a little bit, as Procs is going to shift out, get himself some heals. Rest for Tips is going to continue going for Shadow Mends, as the dots are on Procs. See how's Insanity rolling right now. It's going to be Mindbender coming out. Rest for Tips is going to be able to get a lot of value. Siphon getting killed out by Procs, as Siphon getting hit with a silence though. Rest for Tips trying to continue going offensive. Gonna go for another, Insanity. Procs is making sure to be playing smart. Gonna go wall, bear form, big heal. Rest for Tips is going to go for another heal right afterwards though. Can go for a lot of CC onto Procs. The Procs hasn't triggered anything. Gonna be an interrupt onto Rest for Tips though. Gonna be able to get himself a power word shield up and running. Tricky coming down as he gets hit with a bash. Fear coming down onto Procs. Vampiric Touch reestablished into Mind Flay to follow. Stun coming onto Procs. Tricky's out of it immediately. Still's holding onto one wall. Rest for Tips is gonna get himself a one big disperse up and running. The Procs is gonna go behind the pillar and gonna get himself a lot of his health back. Rest for Tips is now at a time where he just needs to go for some damage. Procs is gonna go for a reopener setup. Gonna get a Siphon up and running. Silence onto Procs. Procs is gonna kill the Siphon. Looks like Rest for Tips barely has any health available. He's gonna go for Insanity. Played out a really good game though. Played out an exceptionally good game. Enzo is trying to go for a big setup onto Procs, but the bleeds are just chunking health out of him right now. Those bleeds are just destroying him little by little. And that's gonna be a big old mean bite out of Procs right now. Gonna hang out next to that Frozen Orb, because that Frozen Orb does nothing compared to the damage that Procs can put out with just bleeds alone into Enzo. Enzo is going to go for a temporal. Procs is going to wait it out for a second and going to go for big damage. Not going to get rooted. Actually, try to go for an interrupt onto Polymorph. Not going to land one. Bash coming in. Enzo is going to go for Ice Block. And Procs is just going to stay in there. 42% dampening. He's going to stand next to the Mage. Going to get frozen. Power shifting out of it. Enzo is going to want to go for an Invis. Not going to land one, as Procs is going to, I guess, have a Moonfire available. And Enzo trying to go for some big damage, trying to get a slow into Procs. Needs to cast though, needs to cast some spells in order to get some big damage out. But not going to be able to really. Going to blink back in. Just going to AFK a bit in the back. Probably going to go for some food. One hit on Siphon to deny though. Yeah, one hit on Siphon, but like, that's what makes the play, you know what I mean? Enzo is trying to get some damage going, but Procs is just going to eliminate him right after. And next up, it's going to be Zakati. Waiting out until the slow. Actually, waiting out for Procs, I guess, to get a full setup. They'll walk into each other. On a duel, boys. On a duel. Let's go. Demon is fun, but they're not that fun. Because they're not completely OP no more. I do agree, Sneaky Ninja. How you doing, my man? Gonna be an opener by Procs onto Zakati though. Zakati is gonna be sitting in the room. There's no LOS here. Both of these guys are just stuck with each other. You are stuck in a cage with an animal, Zakati. With an animal. Are you gonna be able to live it? There's gonna be stun to Procs. Chickens out of immediately. It's gonna be second stun by Zakati's pet. As Zakati's gonna go for a Thorns, trying to get out of the room immediately. Zakati's just gonna continue the chase. Barefoot coming out with a big heal for Procs. Necrotic is stacked up pretty high. 53% dampening though. So Procs needs to go for some massive heals immediately. Is he gonna go for heals? Gonna go for a restun onto Zakati. Replying all these dots. Gonna get a root to Zakati. Maybe that root will give enough time in order to get himself a reset. Gonna pre-wall a lot of the damage from the pet and the dot actually. Actually gonna burn a wall. Zakati is going to keep burning his damage onto him though. Keep chasing after the Feral. Procs doesn't have a lot of places where you can find some refuge with the LOS. Stun coming onto Zakati. Going to get out of it with Lichborn and Grip. Thorns are available for Procs. Maybe he can get a slow into Zakati, but Zakati just continues to pummel damage. Death Strikes are coming out. Procs just has Daz sticking down on him, and he's going to go down. That was towards the end with no dampening, no nothing, no pillars, or high dampening, no healing. I want to see that Mage, Elfrost. I want to see the other Mage too. I want to see that Priest again in the game. I want to see him play again. I want to see him play again. I want to see Marksman Hunters. I want to see Sub-Rogues. I want to see Priests, Elite Shamans, Enhancement Shamans. I want to see an Arms Warrior try his hand.